without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'd be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Didn't even get to bronze. I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass. Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I'd be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get to glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We aren't hating because you want. Shining like it's neon. Rock like kings of Leon. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, them amateurs have to leave. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, them amateurs have to leave. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting shots. Shooting stars. Didn't even get to bronze. I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass.
Give me the reasons to doubt, try to keep me down, but I'll put the flame out, you can't get to me. Throw your sticks and your stones, go break all of my bones. You won't ache my soul, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down to fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. push me down to the ground. What goes around comes around. You won't put the flame out, you can't get to me. Say what you wanna say, go take it all away, but I'm here to stay. No, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down, go fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight.
smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 Safe and
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the official SLE Split 6 podcast. I'm Linus, and originally I was about to be joined by Mikus, but he's not feeling well. So, God of Hex, one of our favorite SLE players, is joining me. Hey, Hex.
Hello, and I am now also, as if you read the title carefully, a league owner. No, I'm joking. I'm just a player, but happy to be here and helping out with the introductory podcast for the SLE Split Six.
Yeah, and I'm really excited for this split. Like, last split was really successful. Like, people were just like so happy with it, and we got so much feedback. And we tried to make this split at least the same, if not better. Um, but yeah, I can tell you our short roadmap for the evening basically, and yeah, we will first go over what's planned this week, like what's coming at you in this first SLE Super Week. Then after that, we will take a look at the format, so you can kind of know how everything will go. Then after that, we will talk a bit about tournaments, the website that we use, and also like how you can find information on our Discord. Then we will take a deep look, or not a that deep look, but like we will take a look at the teams, the 24 teams that will play in this split. And after that, we will have the drawing of the first
Oh,
matches, and we will also explain how you can schedule those games. And that's basically the roadmap for this evening. If you have any questions, just drop them in the Twitch chat, and we will try to answer them on our way. I think that sounds good, no?
yeah, I think it sounds good. I think a lot of people are excited to see all the new teams. I mean, there's also been some changes to the format. So yeah, I think will be exciting. I think a lot of people are definitely waiting on the draw show, but yeah, if you have any questions about the format, any questions you need about the scheduling, or just yeah, general questions, just drop them, and I will try to like bring them up.
Yeah, I think that's great. Last time for Split 5, we also had the draw show at the end of the stream, and people were like, "Hey, can you draw the matches? Can you draw them, please, please?" And like, it's funny. You have to wait for it today as well. But yeah, the plan basically for the week, we have the stream today. We will draw the matches today. Um, and during the next days, we'll have some special content. We'll have the first power ranking basically coming up. We'll have something else that will have its first episode, but you need to wait for that. Um, and then on Friday, basically, we will open up the split in a way that we didn't before. Basically, if you everything that you do before that, like adding players to your roster, whatever, basically counts towards your how's the word, registration. So you don't lose any roster swap slots. From Friday 0 o'clock on, it's basically the split has started, and if you add a player, then you lose one of your 5 slots. You have 5 slots to change players on your roster. During the split, you have 3 emergency subs. If you want to know what that exactly means, you can go into the rulebook. It's in SLE info. And yeah, on Saturday we have the first match. Hex, do you know how we what the Super Week is? Do you want to explain that, or do you want me to do that?
I can try to do a short breakdown, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so previous split we played one game each week essentially. But if I recall, there were like some mentions like, "Oh, regular season was a bit long." So I think in an effort to like kind of shorten the regular season, that we have like super weekends, and I think it's like at the beginning of the split, so this weekend coming up, and also at the end of the season where these weeks we have 2 games, and I think they're on the weekend only, where you play like one game on Saturday and one game on Sunday. So yeah, there's 2 games instead of one that week essentially. So what a super weekend is.
Yeah, exactly. Like people were a bit like even though Split 5 in the SOE was the shortest one, we only took from beginning of September till like mid of December. But people were still like, yeah, that's way too long. And that's why we decided, okay, we will shorten the time a bit. Basically, we will be done at the end of May, which is not even 3 months that the split will take. But we also didn't want to shorten the Swiss format. We wanted to keep the Swiss format because it was something that we were really happy with. Um, but like we didn't want to like make it so the whole split goes till like summer. Yeah, I can turn up the voices a bit.
Yeah. And regarding
Um,
the tier lists, I mean, we will have, I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Linus, we will have power rankings. I think they will come later. I don't know if that's what you mean by tier lists, but I don't think there will be like, I mean, if there are things, I think they might be outside. I don't know. There will be power rankings at least, if we can talk about tier lists, if that's correct, if that's what you're asking. Shiyu.
yeah, I mean, last split we had the power rankings, the official one by the SLE, which are created by one of the SLE staff members, who we will not mention right here. Um, and then we had like the tier lists that were made by Gucci, I think. Like they had like top lane, jungle, and mid lane, and then they never dropped bot lane or something like that. Um, but we had those kind of tier lists. If that's what you mean by tier lists. But yeah, basically on Saturday we have our first match, and then when all of those matches are played, we will then have the drawing of the second matches for Sunday. The default time, because in every week you have a default time in case you and your opponent can't find a time to play, then the game will be played at the default time, which is Saturday 20 o'clock for the Super Week first round, and Sunday 20 o'clock for the second for the Sunday, the second round of the Super Week. And then after that, in every week where you have one match that you play, Sunday 20 o'clock is also the default time. So yeah, that's basically the default time, but you can schedule over the whole day, the Saturday and also the whole day on Sunday.
Yeah, only the super weeks are locked to the weekends. So like on the normal weeks, you can schedule it on Wednesday or whatever day you basically can agree on between the two teams. That doesn't feel mess with people's daily lives or routines, so to say.
Yeah.
Whatever time you can agree on, essentially.
Yeah, and that's a place where I want to highlight again. Your team has a 10 people roster. Like you can have up to 5 substitutes, and we expect every team to be able to play during the weeks. At least one day you have to find where you can play with like 5 people, and if you play with 2 subs, of course that's not ideal. But in the end, we want to keep the league running, and I think there's a certain time commitment expected. I'm reading in the chat right now how many super weeks are there. It's basically 2 in the regular season and 1 in the playoffs. You have one that will be this week. Then you have one which will basically be round 8 and 9 of the regular season. So basically, the end of regular season is also a super week, which will be in April. And then in May, we also have the third super week, which will basically be the semi-final of the lower bracket, which will be 2 games, best of 3 on the Saturday, and then you have the pre-final of the lower bracket on Sunday, best of 5. The week after that, you have the lower bracket final, and then you have the grand final, basically. So the third last week is also super week, but that's only important for like the last teams that remain in the split.
Yeah, that will probably become more relevant when we're out of the regular season, so to say. But yeah,
Yeah.
for regular, it's first and last, I think, is the most important right now to know. Because then it also locks the weekends. So
Yeah, exactly.
this weekend
Exactly.
and then the last of the regular.
Yeah, exactly. All right. That being said, we can go over to the next point on our list, which is the format. Basically, we also already dived a bit into it, but we are playing Swiss format. That means the first round is completely randomized. We will draw the first games, and after that, you will always play against teams with a similar score. Of course, sometimes there will be cases where, for example, one team is 8-0. They cannot play a different 8-0 team, so they will play the closest team they can play. They haven't played so far. You can't play the same team twice in regular season. This format leads to a state where a lot of teams will be in the run for the playoff spots till the end of the split. Like there will only a few teams that will drop out and only a few teams that will save the playoffs basically beforehand. If it goes like last split. And I think that's really, really exciting because every single game can matter. Single game will be important because you play against the teams that will compete with you for your spots in the bracket. Of the 24 teams that we have, 16 teams will go into playoffs like last time as well. But the difference is this time we will have double elimination the whole way. Last time we had single elimination in the round of 16 and the quarterfinals. And only when the top 4, the champion stage, started, we had double elimination. And people were a bit sad about that. But yeah, in the end, we will have double elimination from the beginning this time, which also means that we will have more games of knockout stage. That being said, we have shortened the series a bit. Like, we will have less best of 5s. We have a best of 5 in the upper bracket final. We have a best of 5 in the lower bracket pre-final, in the lower bracket final, and in the grand finale. So we basically have 4 best of 5s, and the rest is best of 3s. Of course, you can always be like, hey, us and our opponent want to play best of 5, and then we will do that as well. But like, best of 3 is the normal
I
one.
think most people will want to play best of 3s, considering that you will always play minimum 2 best of 3 series. And yeah, I think it's good to have best of 3 series. And it, like you said, I think it's good. Best of or double elimination means if you have like a hard matchup, let's say first round, you still have a chance to like kind of Swiss, where you get like a easier or a team that was also knocked down to second bracket. So that's good.
Yeah. I mean, we had examples last. I think single elimination at the beginning is kind of exciting. Like, you can see that the teams will fight for their life, but it
It's
can
scary.
also lead to situations where like one bad day can ruin your split. For example, Revel Links is the best example. They won the regular season. They came into playoffs looking like the favorites to win the league, and they stomped Slimots in the round of 16. In the quarterfinals, they had a bad day. They played against Reki Vress, who later became second. And
No, now you hurt him, Losmer Davet.
yeah, they went up 10k gold in every single game, and they only won the first one, and then they lost 3 in a row and got knocked out. With double elimination, one of those days does ruin your split. Like, you can have one bad day in playoffs and still continue, and I think that's really cool. But yeah, are there any questions left towards the format? I think it's pretty easy to understand.
It doesn't seem to be too many questions, but I mean, if you have any question about format, you can also just bring them up if you arrive late, or if you have them later. I think we can just take them as they come.
Yeah. Okay, then let's go over to the next thing. Basically, how do you find information on our Discord? People have started to ask questions in my DMs or in like tickets about stuff that you can really easily find. We have a channel called SLE Info. You can go into that channel. It's like on the top, and there are things pinned there. For example, our rulebook. Like, most questions towards how do I do this with substitutes? How do I register a player? What's the ruling on this? Everything is in the rulebook. You can read the rulebook, and most questions will be answered. In case you still have questions left, or there are some situations you need to discuss with the staff team, please do not go into the DMs of some staff members. Rather, just open a ticket so everything can be discussed there. Usually, we are pretty quick with it. Like, if you open a ticket, it will usually be dealt with in a few hours.
Yeah, I can as a player, I can really recommend tickets. Like, we had a really random issue with Discord where a player of ours could only speak on Rotterdam Discord server. And that was right before we were supposed to play our first match, when we were like new to the league. And we got responses very quickly in support tickets. I can, as a player, recommend the support tickets if you have a random questions. I just wanna, Itchy, if you have a question about format, yes, you can bring it up if you want. I'm not sure why, but yes. Okay, back to you, Linus. But yeah, support tickets are really good.
Yeah. Of course, you can also, if you have like some broad questions, you can also go into general chat and ask them. And unless it's really a specific thing that we need to discuss in a ticket, usually some people in the community will help you out. Like, there are a lot of people in the community who are like really quick to help with like easier things. So, yeah, just don't go into the DMs if you can avoid it. It's just extra work and extra stress for the people. But yeah, basically, that's about that. The next thing is tournaments. Our website that we use for the tournament is tournaments. You can register your team there. 20 of 24 teams are actually registered there, and everything will go over there. You will get the tournament codes from there. You will get to see who you play there. You see the standings and everything. That being said, the 4 teams that have not played, I will call them out right now, that have not registered yet, are Black Lotus, Esports, SNC, Gucci Yang, Primordials, and Dog Crimson Flame. So those 4 teams, it would be really nice if you would register so we can set everything up. If you don't do it today, I will create a temporary team for you. But yeah, that's also not the biggest problem. It just means that you will not be able to do it yourself. But yeah, everything important to like the standings and everything is on tournaments. You can find tournaments as well in SLE info. All right, I don't think there's anything left in this, so we can go over to the teams. Do you think people want to know what the teams are?
I think they want to know what the teams are. I think they're quite excited
Okay.
to know the teams.
Okay. Then
Okay,
we
they
do
don't
that.
care. They want the draw show.
Yeah, no, you don't get any draw show without the teams, so
If the more you speak about the draw show, the more I will yap. And when I yap, we will be here for a long time.
yeah, I agree. All right. Going over to the first team, you can see this nice graphic. Shout out to Jesse. It doesn't fit the screen completely, but it's totally fine. I think it looks awesome. And this will also be the graphic used for the power ranking. So you can already see Crimson Flame, the first team, has like a nice background color scheme. Huge shout out to Jesse. This is not the first power ranking though. Like this list will not be the first power ranking list. But yeah. What do you have to tell me about the team Dog Crimson Flame? Hex.
So Dog Crimson Flame, yeah, they're a bit of an older team actually. So as far as I understand, I got some information from Mickey's where he has spoken with the team. They're like an older team which has some core members from what is called SG Momentum. So this is before my time, but they were apparently in SLE finals a few seasons back. They seem to be a squad of overall where they are not like topping the team, so to say. They're looking to have a bit of fun. They're trying to improve and just participate in the league, so to say, as far as I can see from the team.
Yeah.
They're looking to make a splash in a sense, but they are an older team actually, and the core members.
Yeah. I actually the only name that I recognize is Samuel, of course. I think he was around in Split 3 also as a moderator, but I think he left the staff team before I joined it back then. And I
Yes,
think
it's
they
very old.
actually have the lowest elo of any team. Oh no, the second lowest. The lowest elo is Ragnarok. So even though elo doesn't say too much, it means that the players are lower in solo queue, and that could be a reason why they have more struggles. What do you think? Will this team be struggling more, or are they going to have an easy split?
I don't think they would struggle, but I don't think they will have an easy split. There are some teams that I think are pretty strong. I won't say them now, but I don't know enough about them to say if they will struggle or not. But I think they'll be like mid of the road. Is my prediction.
All right. I think we can go over to the next team, which is Solaris Eris. What can you tell me about Solaris?
Now this is a team I think will do quite okay actually. So they were in the previous split, in the split 5. They had some like rough starts if I remember, but then they changed their jungler if I recall. And then when they finished, they did get to the top 16. They also got knocked out in the first round of the qualifiers, but they had a 3-2 finish or like loss to Blazing Pandas, and Blazing Pandas did go quite deep to the tournament. So I think they overall having 3-2 against them shows they had quite a strong team or a lineup. So I think they kept most of the same players or all of them. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you play together as a team for a longer time, you get better synergy. So I think this team could be quite good, around top 16, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I've actually played that team last week in CWL. So I'm really excited to see this roster play in the SLE again. They are playing 2 leagues at the same time. This can be on one side like a huge benefit because you play more than other teams. It can also be a downside if you're not able to handle so much games at one time and the stress and everything. But yeah, they got the same roster together, and I'm really excited to have them back. But yeah, let's go over to the next team, which is Silver Phoenix. Silver Phoenix also is a team that is returning. Only their jungler Waynham is only he was substitute last split, and now he's on the roster again. And Silver Phoenix has made quite a name for themselves at the end. Like they had a rough split. Like they had some upsides. I think they drew good Chiang, for example, but they also had some downsides. And in the end, they lost out on the top 16. They got 17th, and they got that because in one game they played with an ineligible player, which basically auto forfeited that game, and then they came short in the whole split. But yeah, I'm really excited to see that roster play this time around with like Topivity and General DMO on top lane, I think.
Yeah, no dream on top. I mean, I think they had a rougher split earlier, right? But I think we have a new format and we also have like the new elo restrictions. I think they have much better chance this time around because you will have less of these topped off teams, so to say, with like just top players. So I think they will have a pretty solid chance.
Yeah, I totally agree. But yeah, let's go over to the next team, which is Sorby Esports. Or better said, Sorby Glacial. I think that needs to be fixed. But yeah, Sorby Glacial is a Danish team, as far as I'm concerned, who are relatively new to the league. To me, it feels like that's a team that will be carried by their jungler. Their jungler, Kreiseren, I don't know how to pronounce it. He looks like a really, really strong player, a really strong jungler with a good champion pool. The rest of the roster is a bit weaker if you only look at solo queue. So I'm really excited to see how this newcomer performs in this league. And if it really means, yeah, you have a low average elo, your bottom team, or if this team can reach the tops of like the SLE.
I mean, having like solid team play, I'm not sure, right? They're a bit new, but if you're like well played together, like I think Snek is a perfect example of this. Where like I don't think Snek has like the peak elo, but I think Snek are a team that has this like solid team plan. I think the same goes for Serbi Glacier, where if they're like well knit together, they had like solid plays, they wrote on the same objectives, they will definitely be strong, like regardless of elo, in a sense.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, let's go over to the next team, which is Shaka Bantu.
Shaka Bantu.
Yeah, basically that's the team that Michi D is playing with. For those who don't know, Michi Darko, a top laner that has been quite known in the SLE. He played on Eternal Blizzard, I think it was, in Split 3, where he got eliminated by Black Manta with Linus on top lane. Uh, and last split, I think he was on Blazing Panda, right? He played on Blazing Panda
Yeah, he should have played on Blazing Panda.
and got third in the league.
Yeah, third in the league, I think.
Yeah, so this is a really exciting team. I'm not quite sure yet how this team will perform. I think their jungler looks really exciting, Surge. So this could potentially be a top 4 team, but could also be one of those teams that you hype up a bit.
I mean,
And then in
regardless,
the end,
I think
they drop.
Yeah, like Michi Darko for sure will be strong though if you count the top laners in the league. He's probably one of the strongest top laners. So I think maybe there are like new top laners, hard to say. But I think he will definitely be a strong force in the top lane.
Yeah, I agree as well. But yeah, let's go over to the next team, which is Primordials. What can you tell me about this old timer?
The old timer Primordials coming back. They were in SLE Split 5 and they're keeping the exact same lineup, if I'm not wrong. They had a few name changes, but I asked about it. They like to play kind of early aggressive, if I remember, from the casting games I had last split. Their games are always very filled with action, I would say. And yeah, I'm very excited to see them back. I like that they haven't changed their players. I feel like they're like slowly growing. And yeah, I'm just excited to see them again, I feel.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, Primordials will in this split be like after this split, they will be the team that has the most games played in the SLE. Like they have played in
With
Split
that
3. They won Division 2 in Split 3. Then
Wow.
they went in Split 4. They basically that was the last time where we were like, okay, whoever wins Division 2 gets a seat in Division 1 automatically, and people were like, yeah, Primordials is not gonna make it. Like they are not gonna make playoffs in Division 1. But they did. They finished above the Vacuum Rest and got 7th. After that they got knocked out by a team that we don't mention. It's called something like, I don't know, Black Lions or something like that. But yeah, and last time they had a really rough split. They didn't even win one game.
Oh, they
But they
never
also did
won.
like they got a forfeit from a team that got was disqualified.
They gotta buy. Yeah,
Um,
they gotta buy.
yeah, but they also did some roster swaps, and now they are with a roster like the roster right now with the player on top lane, jungle, and whatever. They are practicing that for a longer time, so I'm really excited to see if they can bounce back and go for a run for playoffs again.
I definitely think they will have a better split this time around. Keeping the same team, like I just feel like it's good. Like you will still improve it, and I feel like they'll do better. I think.
Yeah.
I have
Going
strong
over to
faith.
the next team, one
The
of your favorites,
Grubbers.
the
The
Grubbers.
Grubbers!
The
We all know them, we all love them, man. The new
yeah,
Grubbers.
I really hope that they like their name promises a lot of fun, and I really hope that they deliver on that.
But I
That being
better see
said,
6 grubs. It better be 6 grubs every game.
yeah, that being said, I had a huge pain when I dealt with the application with their support who has like a Japanese name, which was a pain to spell. But yeah, um, I think the team has actually a really good roster. Like it looks good overall. Like not top, like they don't have one of those players like those top players like God of Hex or Linus or something, but they have like a good overall roster. So I'm really excited to see how they will do. What do you think about them?
I think they're pretty good. They look like I don't know the players, as I haven't seen any of them beforehand, but they seem to have the strongest players in mid or bot, which I think having a strong bot lane is quite important in the current meta. So having that, I think, is good. And yeah, top lane, there are ways to play it out safe, where you can, if you're like a weaker player, let's say, you can still like perform very well in a team environment. So I don't know. I feel like their lineup and where they have their power looks pretty good to me. So I don't know. I
Yeah,
just like their name as well. I hope they contest grubs every game. I love
that would be
the
fun.
Grubbers. It's a great name, probably the best name in the league.
Yeah, I agree on that. But yeah, let's go over to the next team, and we are one third through, which is Peach Fish Woof. What do you think about that team?
That team looks quite interesting. So apparently they are playing in the Swedish league, the ERL for Sweden, so SOL, and they're like a sub team to of an SOL team essentially, like can you call it a B team, I guess, to that SOL team where they were created as a few friends basically. They're part of some form of esports academy, I would say. So yeah, and they aren't looking to have like strong expectations as far as I know from the way I have them. But yeah, I don't know. I think this roster looks pretty good. They seem like a well-knit team. They are seem to be like a group of friends. But yeah, they are like more well-balanced as far as I could get from the information I had. So having more balanced team might be good. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think they will be strong.
I mean, I agree. There's actually one player on that team, Karma of my own, the support. I don't know why, but I think I've run into that person like 4 or 5 times already in different leagues and whatever, different teams. I don't know why, but that name feels so familiar. Um, but I also don't know where I've heard that name. But yeah. Let's go to the next team, which is Good Chi Yang, one of the returning teams, even though the roster changed a lot. What can you tell me about this team?
This team is it's kind of knit together of some of the teams from the last split. So they have, for example, Los Mudaviet in the top lane, which was the top laner for Rebel Links, and then they have Paka, which, if I recall, was like a sub from Gucci Yang. And the rest of the players, I see, I don't really remember all of them, but those are the two players like that I recognize from Split 5 at least. And yeah, they have really strong players overall. So both Los Mudaviet and Paka are like pretty strong players, but Paka is also experiencing a role swap from top, as far as I understand, into jungle. So I'm not sure how that will play out for them. Learning jungle can be relatively hard. Oh, it's Rebrief? Has the name changed? I haven't seen Rebrief. I see a lot of names in the list.
Yeah, Krasivit Iochi or whatever is Rebreathe. I hate that.
Okay.
No, I like Rebreathe, but I hate him for his name change. It's like always so
I,
annoying.
mean, I can't follow all these name shits. But yeah, Rebrief is the old same mid laner from last split. I would say it's
Yeah.
good, yeah. But I think the most interesting part of the team will be Paka's role swap into jungle and how he will handle that. Because, yeah, learning jungle will be It's I think you can do it. Like it's very possible. It's just very dependent on how you adapt to the jungle, I would say.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. Um, but yeah, let's. Oh no, I have one last thing I want to say towards Gucci Yang. Gucci Yang last time was a bit the smaller brother, if you want it like that, of Gucci Yin. Gucci Yin, of course, won the split in the end. Gucci Yang dropped out in the quarterfinals to Blazing Pandas. And I kind of want to see this roster come back, and basically this time they should be the better Chi roster. I think that would be a cool storyline. But yeah, let's go over to the next team, which is Snack Pack SNC. The first Sanctuary team on the list, a German roster that has been around for 2 splits so far. Snack Pack has won the Division 1 actually, so the regular season now in Split 4. Then they had a really, really weak performance in the playoffs. They lost, I think, 1 and 2 to Kakapo Adax back then, an Italian roster, and then they got knocked out by CCG Muffins. And last split, they looked at the beginning like again like a top team, but that didn't take long. They finished 15th in the regular season, so they went from from first winning the Division 1 to nearly being knocked out, and then they got eliminated 3-1 by Vitagen in the round of 16. And after that, they kind of bounced back a bit, like in Prime League and also Manta Cup, they had like a better performance. But now they are back again to a more shaky performance. Like Prime League is not looking so good, and I kind of want to see how if this roster can get their bad form out of the way and kind of go back to the status they had in Split 4.
I mean, they were relatively strong as well in Split 5, but yeah, I think they are like on and off somehow. It feels like, but when they're on their game, I feel like they're really good at like team fighting specifically. They're like really solid at when they are all 5 together. So if they can use that part well, I think they will be strong.
I mean, yeah, I agree. The roster is basically the same as last split, so a lot of consistency in this team. And this can be good, but I also had the feeling in my team, for example, when I played together for like nearly 3 years, at one point it kind of gets a bit like you start to notice you have the same problems all the time. And it's kind of hard to fix them. And you kind of need that fresh air. So I'm excited to see how it will turn out for Snack Pack. That being said, let's go over to the next team, which will be Dangerous Game. What can you tell me?
Dangerous
Oh no,
Game.
I tell you something about it.
I can talk about it though. They got the GOAT Lurks. I love Lurks.
Okay. Yeah, your microphone just doesn't want to transfer your screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dangerous Game is kind of the new Enlan, if you want it like that. Last split we had the team Enlan. They started really weak, but then they got stronger and stronger and stronger and finished pretty well. I think 6th overall. And then they lost in the round of 16 to Interstellar Aquila and your teammate Shiki. And now they are back on Dangerous Game. You have the jungler, I play you listen, who's back. And you have the mid laner Terraforming, now called Oppression. He was the ADC of them last bit, now is on mid lane, so that's a role swap that you can take into account. Then you have like Avers and Jirachi, who played on that team last bit on the bench for now. And you have 2 really exciting additions. You have Lurix, one of the longtime veterans of the SLE, played in 2 splits. He reached, I think, 4th with CCG Muffins, and then wait, what team did he play on last split?
Blazing Pandas.
Oh yeah, he got 4th with CCG Muffins, and then 3rd with Blazing Pandas. So now he can
He's
go one
climbing.
step up again.
Second spot.
now-
Spot.
Yeah, and now it's the vice championship for him this time. And the other one is Shay City, the top laner, who looks like maybe the best top laner in the league. Like he looks really, really strong. I've seen his champion play. I've watched like a replay game of him, and I think he looks really, really good. Like his macro and his micro both look pretty good. And this is actually the team that's the closest to the ELO border, like the ELO border of 2,600. The average that your main roster is allowed to have. They have 2,599.8. So even 1 LP above that. Like 0.8, yeah. Like they are so close to it. And I'm really excited to see them. I think they could have a really good run. And I really like their banner here, even though I don't like the logo. But yeah.
And flaming the logo like that. I mean, I think they also will have like a pretty good split. I think The biggest change will be Oppression, aka Terraforming, from the last split, as far as I understand. He's role swapping from ADC to mid. But if I recall, he played mid beforehand. But that'll be something to look out for, I guess. Like, I think role swapping is hard, basically. But yeah, I think if they worked it out, like you say, they have Shy City, looks like a strong top laner. I play a listen, solid jungler, lurks, goated support. So overall, looks very strong.
Yeah. Let's go over to the next team, which is Vitagen Pearl. What can you tell me about this team?
Well, this is the returning Vitagen roster, if I've read the names right, which are featuring Ant and Dutch. And Vitagen, I think they reached 4th place last year, this team.
Yeah.
In the split, they have changed out some players since last split. So notably, their bot lane has changed, I think.
Yeah.
Mostly. But yeah, Ant is also like one of the strongest top laners probably in the league. Has played for a long time. He's pretty consistently solid, I would say. So that's good. And they have both those two players like to carry, I would say, or play carry-ish roles, Dutch and Ant. So I think if you
Yeah.
have good carry players, you're promising in the sense. Like I think that's the biggest thing to lack. They're also bringing back Shade or Trolulu, which, as far as I know, he's played also back in the day. And yeah, I don't know. I think the overall is just really solid. I don't know mid to bot players that well, but I think if you have Ant and Dutch, you have a promising carry potential in the team overall. They're also really close to the elo limit, so the 2598, not 0.8, but hey, they're pretty close.
Yeah.
2 elo off. So
Yeah.
looks relatively stacked to me at least.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this roster is really exciting. Yeah, you threw in Shade already. Maybe I can say a bit more about the bot lane. You have basically LMR, who is one of the more famous ADCs of Split 4 and before that. From my time, I know that he played on Reef Esports, who got 3rd in Split 3. And he also played on Bears and Bogara. Yeah, well, they got knocked out in,
let's go!
yeah, they got knocked out in Division 1. They got 9th. And he's joined on bot lane by Kolaski or Vian, who played on runtime for 4 splits, and he got 10th in split 4, so 9th and 10th on the bot lane united. But those are 2 veterans that are really excited, and I think this roster has a lot of potential. I'm really excited to see how they will basically how they will perform this split. Especially now that their mid laner is not a we're not talking about the mid laner. But yeah, let's go over to the next team, which is DVN Infinity.
This is a completely new team, if I am correct. They're coming into the league. I mostly looked at the OPGGs, but they seem to have a really strong bot lane, if I recall, that plays mostly Vayne and a Pantheon player in the top lane, as far as I could see. And they kind of sew it together where like their mid and support seems to be more of the facilitating players, whereas the bot and top seems to be like, or bot, top, and jungle seem to be like the carry players. I haven't seen them play, so can't say much about that. But yeah, I think they look strong. They had a pretty overall high elo as well for being a team. I don't recall the exact number. But yeah, I think their mid is also, if I recall, really high up. So, but I think he will mostly be, how do you call it? Pulling them together, I would imagine. And I think they will play strongly for their bot side Vayne player. He'll have mostly Vayne games. I think that fits this meta quite well.
I'm also really excited to see them. I think their mid laner, an elo of 2,896. I think he looks really strong. He might be the best mid laner in the split, or at least he's competing for it. So I'm also excited to see where this team will go. But yeah, 5 completely new players, if I'm not wrong. So I'm really excited. It's always so exciting when those teams come in that you have like no clue about. For example, Rebel Links last time. But you have like expectations, and then they overperform even, and that's always cool to see. But yeah, let's go over to the next team, which is Black Lotus SNC or Black Lotus Esports SNC. But it's a bit too long for the banner. But yeah, that team joined Sanctuary after the last split, and they changed their roster quite a bit. Like from last split, only the mid laner and the support are the same. The mid laner being Gloomiux, one of the more famous people in the SLE now, and the support Fabian. And they brought in new players. They brought in Shizu, the jungler of Making It Great last split, who's pretty good. and they brought in Shusaku and F-Type on ADC and top lane. And this roster is kind of exciting. I'm not quite sold yet on them, because they finished they only went to Division 7 in Prime League, which is the lowest of all the German teams that participate in the SLE, and they have not performed that well over the last weeks. For example, they participated in the Pirate Bay Invitational, and they got knocked out by Black Flag Sailors there, and they also lost in the first round to Assassin's Creed SNC there. So two teams that also compete in the split. But yeah, what do you think about Black Lotus?
I think Black Lotus are. I remember last league they were my go-to team to cheer for because they have Gloomy, and I think Gloomy is the best mid laner, the GOAT, because he consistently kills people higher than him in the mid lane. My man, my GOAT. So yeah, I have hopes. I have hopes. I believe with the way their jungler, like you said, looks very strong. I have faith they will be able to at least reach top 16.
Yeah, we will see about that. But yeah, let's go over to the next team, which are Slim Odds. What can you tell me about Slim Odds?
Slim Oats. They're also like a returning team, as far as I know. If I'm not wrong, because apparently everyone's name changing, but I think they're relatively the same roster, as far as I recall.
Yeah, I
They
think
did
only the
reach
jungler is new.
the junglers now, okay. They reached quite far as well, but they were knocked out also by a strong team in Rebel Links, so a top 8 team, I guess. But they had a pretty good run. They were knocked out confidently. I think they have like some weaknesses still, but I think they are strong. I think they would be. I like they're keeping mostly the same. See if I can find it here. Yes, exactly. They have also one of the. It doesn't look like it on the elo maybe, but Banner X is one of the key features I think that actually kept them in a lot of the games when they were playing. So I'm going to be looking out for Banner X on that team, a large part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I think he will still carry games for them. The top lane meta is
I'm really
maybe even
excited for
better for
that.
him.
Yeah, Banorex was one of the highlights last split. His team was really struggling, but he brought them to 16th, being the lowest seed that went to playoffs. And I think he has a really big deal in that. He solo won them a few games. By the way, I want to shout out again. There are still 4 teams not registered on tournaments. Crimson Flame, Dog Crimson Flame, Primordials, Gucci Yang, and Black Lotus Esports SNC. Please do it. Thank you very much. Um, but yeah, let's go. Let's go back to the. Let's go back to the teams and go over to the next one, which is Infernal Wolves B. Infernal Wolves B is one of I think 3 teams that the org has, but it's the only one that joins the SLE. I don't know that much about the team. It's nearly completely new. The full main roster, as far as I'm concerned. Oh no, the jungler Krolux, he played in the SLE before. The other people are all new to the split. The 2 substitutes are returning players. You have Skills, who was on the Vitagen roster as a substitute last split, and you have Google Me, who's one of the more forgotten veterans. He played on CCG Theta Draconis, I think, before, and Curtain Call Gaming, as far as I'm concerned. So a really old player of the SLE. And I'm really excited to see how this roster will compete. Their mid laner Nadeche. He looks
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Nadeche. I think he's Italian. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I could
No,
be.
I actually have no idea. But yeah, it looks like a middle of the pack team, and I'm really excited to see if they go at the top of the middle or at the bottom. What do you think about them?
I mean, I think it will be like one thing that would be like really key to split, right? Would be this like, oh, you're gonna top your team off. Like some teams are topping the team off, right? They have like one really strong player who's like masters or so, and then they have a weak player in another role, right? But this team is overall well balanced. So I think it will come down to a lot. Is it better to have a well balanced team or like someone that will like you play for that tries to hard carry your team? Like overall, I think having a well balanced team will be better, but I guess it will show if I'm proving wrong or right. Like I think these types of teams will perform better overall, where they are like more balanced, same-ish elos.
Yeah, I
I
think so too. But yeah, let's go over to the next team, which is Assassins and Greed SNC, another of those German teams. And this one is kind of an all-star team. Like it was formed together in January by Sanctuary. They were basically collecting veterans and putting them into a team. You have Maybe, who got a silver medal in the SLE and won Division 2, the ex-jungler of Black Manta. You have Trouble Bubble, who was like a player that was mentioned as a standout mid laner last split, even though his team only got 18th, I think, or 17th. No, 18th it was. Then they have I Won't Leash, or IWL, on bot lane. For those who played this before, they maybe remember him. I think there was a series where he had like 2 pentakills, 2 quadra kills, and 2 triple kills or something in 2 games. And you have Delph on support, who is an ex-support of Vekivres. So you have like people who are pretty experienced. And this team is on kind of a run. Like they are undefeated in the Prime League currently. They won the Pirate Bay Invitational, and like they are really, really strong looking. I don't think they've lost any games so far, really.
They have a
So I'm
really strong mid as well. I remember Trouble Bubble from last season. He's probably one
Yeah,
of the
exactly.
strongest mids.
Yeah. And then they have the top line. I don't know how many people have followed the Manta Cup, but the team UB Tenacity there, they looked really strong, and he's the top liner, Shorty. So I'm really excited to see how this team will perform this, but I think they could be one of the better teams. But yeah, let's go over to the next team, which is Link's Dream.
Link's Dream.
Yeah, and for those who have basically who read the name and think of Revelings, you're correct. This is an Estonian roster. It's basically how's the word? I don't have the word in my mind right now.
Wait, for what? For the secondary team? Or...
Successor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the successor team. They are the Estonian hope in the SLE. And this roster is kind of exciting because 4 of those players, Timu, the Panzen, Toneri Prime, and Grelis, they played in the Manta Cup on Emerald Punishers, which was the Estonian team that played on that roster. And they made quite a name for themselves, and I think it's really exciting to have them here. Basically, Revelings is gone, but Linkstream is here. And I think the Estonian fan base is just great. Like, they are always on stream, they are participating in chats. I just think it's really, really cool to have them.
The Estonian fan base is king. They are very active. I like that. They're always here. And yeah, like you said, they're the successors. I know the Revelings talked and they have been hyping a lot that they're going to have a team from Revelings, but not the same squad, right? Like another team. So yeah, I'm excited for this team. I think they're going to be cooking something at least, for sure. And I mean, Revelings, they finished pretty strong last time, so
yeah,
I think this team will also go pretty strong.
Yeah, I agree. But then let's go over to the next team, which is Ragnarok. What can you tell me about Ragnarok?
So Ragnarok is also a returning team from Split 5. The most notable thing I remember is their jungler, Just Ryan. He does look like he has lower elo, but I remember specifically on Viego, he was quite a menace. They also have some other combos like Anivia Poppy, which I recall, between their mid and their jungler. Beyond that, not sure about specific details. Squeevil, pretty strong top overall. They were stronger tops than him, I would say, in the league, like Missing Link and Banarex, but he definitely held his own. And specifically on Gnar, like they're a bit, they have like their champs, I feel like, where if they got these specific champs, they were very strong, essentially. And
Yeah,
I
definitely.
don't know if they've been able to explore like a few more champs where they will make drafting harder against them. I think they will be strong because on those specific champs they really performed.
Yeah, and they finished 5th, I think, last split, or 6th. No, 7th. They got 7th in the regular season, but with the hardest schedule. Like, of all the teams participating, even the first or second, like I don't know, the Gucci teams or Revelings, like Ragnarok had the hardest schedule, and they still got to the top 7, which is like really impressive, I think, with a roster that many deem like a weak roster. Like, they have the lowest average elo of all the teams in the SLE, and they still, for me, feel like a team that will contend. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what this roster that stayed the same will provide this bit. That being said, let's go to the last 5 teams with Vintage and Diamond next, the sister team of Vintage and Pearl. What can you tell me about that team?
So this is the new Vitigen squad, right? They have some brought back players from different strong. They're like kind of similar to the Yang team, where they're like kind of mix and matching like from old teams in Split 5. So they have Jonathan Isaac, which was probably one of the best junglers from Blazing Pandas. They also brought back Josiah, which I'm not sure if he played or if it was a sub. I don't recall.
No, he
I think
played
it was
for
subbed
Vitagen.
in for Vitagen, right? Yeah, it
Yeah.
was subbed in for Vitagen, and I would say was one of the best supports overall. And then they're bringing, I'm not sure because I'm not that old, I guess, but they're bringing a star ADC in the form of Shipex, who is supposed to, I think, carry this team to the finish line, so to say. So if they can play for Shipex and enable him, I think they will be quite strong.
Yeah, Shipex, if I believe he played in split 1 and 2 primarily, and in split 3 he was too high, he wasn't allowed to play. And I think that also stayed the same for split 4 and 5, if I'm not wrong. Shipex, you can correct me in chat if I'm wrong. But yeah, like, and now he's back allowed because we basically said, okay, you don't need to be a veteran or legacy player in order to play in the league as a master player. You, like, we basically removed the part where you can have a higher elo if you're a legacy player. But yeah, I'm really excited for the roster, especially the top laner looks kinda interesting. Benjamin, his elo is not that high, but I've heard many good things about him. So yeah,
I mean, it's very hard to just judge it based on elo, right? Like solo, like I think, for example, certain types of players, like I think Case Mace is a great example from Wacky, where it's like in solo queue, I think he's like lower than some players, but he really performs in a team environment because he has a specific playstyle. So if Benjamin can do the similar, it's really good.
Yeah. But yeah, let's go to the last 4 teams, which is Gucci Yin. Can you tell me something about this unknown underdog team?
Unknown underdog team indeed. No, but they are the previous split winner, and they are bringing their goated jungler JL, very strong jungler, probably the. I mean, I guess you could just call him the best because he won the split, but yeah, they have a good old JL returning. They have Kim Jensen in the mid, who also won last split. Yeah, they were pretty stacked overall, I would say. They are bringing like the mix of really good players. So they have Sanix from the third place finishers ADCs, and then they have Roos in the top lane, who was the top laner for Gucci Yang, which to be fair didn't place. I think they placed top 8, but yeah, still very strong top laner, I think personally. And then they have a new player in the form of Riggs coming back. So yeah, I mean overall, if you think about SLE and like how SLE performances have been, and so overall, a very stacked roster overall. I think they will be top 4.
Yeah, there's a really good chance for that. I'm really excited to see how they will perform. Right now, I kind of, and I'm scared to say it, but I kind of have the Gucci Gaming vibe from Split 4, where like Split 2 and 3 won and dominated by Gucci Gaming, and then Split 4 kind of looked like, yeah, that was not the best one, where like it didn't feel right, and then they didn't really perform up to the standards. And I kind of have the feeling that it will happen again this split. I don't want to jinx them though, and I gladly am disproven. Yeah, I'm still excited to see if they can defend their title or not. But
That'll be
yeah,
a cool team overall, yeah. Like Sandix, Jensen. I mean, they have cool players overall. That would be very fun to watch, I think.
yeah,
Sandix is
definitely.
definitely interesting bot lane to look at. I think he's got a really aggressive playstyle, so that would be fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Going to the top 3, Eternal Blizzard. Um, yeah, they have a team full of no names. But can you maybe
Yeah,
tell me something
let's.
about them?
It's just Lord Loco and his goons. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can start with Loco and Shiki. I don't know Shiki's exact story, but I know Loco has won SLE 2 times.
Yeah.
So they're a combination of 2 teams, or from, as if I recall, from SLE Split 3, it's like a combination of the EB team from Split 3 and the Greasy Goblins team from Split 5. So it's Baruch Gama and Meagle Hex from Greasy Goblins together with Shiki and Loco in the bot lane. And Loco, yeah, has won SLE 2 times. So it's like an old storied player, strong in the SLE. And then we have a new player in the form of IFX in the jungle.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how to. I really don't want to rate us because I feel like that's strange from my perspective. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a good team. I'm not biased.
Yeah, I'm actually a big fan of this team. I'm really excited to see how they will perform. You have like players that are just really exciting. Shiki always performed pretty good, pretty well in the SLE. Um, and yeah, I'm really excited to see. I'm reading the chat right now. I just want to point out that this is not a ranking. I have not created the list, and I have not decided in which order the teams will be placed. That was
This is the
decided by
order
someone else.
of how you apply, bro. This order of how you apply
Oh yeah,
this.
yeah, right. It's the order of application. So the team that applied first is first, okay? It's not a ranking. But yeah, let's go over to the next team, which is the Vacuum Press SNC. And I just noticed that they applied before my team, so this is rigged. Like they should be first. Um, oops.
We're
But
gonna
yeah,
talk about it. We're gonna
I
talk
can I
about it.
can I can talk about Vacuum Press. Last split they got second. They had a really cool run from being the eighth in regular season, and then winning against Revelings in the quarterfinals, eliminating Vitagen, eliminating Blazing Panda, and then in finals losing 2-3 really closely to Gucci, and it looked like they could win. And then basically JL stole Nash, and after that they couldn't come back. But this team is really excited. They kept the same roster, which is something the other top teams didn't, because they breached the elo barrier. And yeah, I'm excited to see this roster. That being said, they are kind of in a bad state right now. Like they haven't found their groove so far. And you can see that in the Prime League results so far. Also the show match that we had yesterday. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to see if they can find their groove again like last time and then have a really good run. What do you think about this team?
I mean, if I recall last time, they also had like a pretty slow start, and then they really found their footing at like the middle of the split. Because I recall they had a show match which was pretty rocky in the beginning, and then they did like some changes. They like changed it up, and they really brought it back. So I feel like it's maybe just a form of it's off season, maybe not playing a lot, so that's why they don't have their groove. And like I'm very convinced they will find their groove in the middle of the split. For whatever reason, they're in a slump right now.
Yeah.
I for sure think they will come back as like a top something team. I don't know where, but like they will definitely be a top team.
Yeah. I agree on that. But yeah, let's go over to the last team, which again, it's not a power ranking. Jesse has just made a mistake, I think. But it's good for memes. So yeah, we have the top team, the number one team of the SLE. Nah, wait, kidding. We have the Black Flag Sailors SNC, which is basically my team that I play with. Um, yeah, it kind of has some known faces. You have from the Black Manta days, you have Denzel and Quishy who played on that team last split as well. You have me who played on Black Manta split 4 and 3. Um, the three players, me, Denzel, and Quishy, we basically got second in the SLE in split 3, and we won the Division 2 in split 4. And yeah, we're paired with Nor Tempest on jungle. Who has played on Snackpack previously and has won the Division 1, and by Moppo, the support who played on Ubitinacity before. He's not yet on the roster because he still has to complete some games, but he will be added to the roster as soon as he's done with that. I kind of notice how weird it is to talk about my own team. Can you talk a bit
That's
more?
very. I mean, yeah, like Linus, I would say strong side top laner. Dancer, if I recall, what is it now? Is it like Yi mid? If I remember, it was like a very. He's good at like these niche picks. That I would say, if I remember. Don't know Nor Tempest that well. I think it's a strong team overall. I would say Swishy as well coming back. I don't know Vamavox, so I can't say. Vamavox and Nor Tempest are the two new faces to me, so I'm not sure about those. But yeah, Dancer has spicy picks, I would say. So I think that's like an X factor, right? Where you're drafting and you have no idea what someone's gonna pick, similar to like Ant, I would say. They can bring out like these really spicy picks. I think that's a strength in draft for sure.
Yeah, I think that's something you can say. Um, and yeah, I notice how weird that is. But yeah, let's go.
Are we
Let's
drawing?
go. Oh no, I noticed that
No.
one of my players just told me to speak the truth and stop dodging it. Yeah, we are the best team. Everyone who faces us will lose, or we will
Damn!
let them win.
Okay,
Denzel is
okay.
the best German mid lane of the league, way better than Traubabel, and he
Does
definitely
this mean the show match was scripted? Just
yeah,
for
it was
my sake.
scripted. It
Let's
was a friendly
go!
match with Eternal Blizzard, and basically we were like, hey, if we win now, they will not apply. So
Oh,
yeah.
hell yeah.
But
And for the people talking about power rankings, we'll have power rankings, I think, next week or on Thursday, I'm not sure. I don't know your schedule, Linus. When will you have the power rankings?
the
That's the
power
only thing
rankings
people
will come
talk
out.
about.
The power rankings will probably come out tomorrow on Thursday.
Tomorrow or on Thursday. Stay
Yeah.
tuned for the power rankings. But yeah, I
Yep.
think, are we before the draw now? Or
I mean, we start the draw now, but there's actually something before that.
but I have okay, just still let me know before the draw because we need to have an important talk about something before the draw.
Okay. Then we will start. Like basically, you see all these teams right now. Are you excited for the split, or are there some things where you are like, I would have loved if this team wasn't part of the league, or if we got a different team back?
This team wasn't part, that would be
Yeah.
toxic almost.
And why do you think? No, I'm not gonna say any team that would be mean. Now, just what's your expectations toward the split, basically?
I mean, I think EB is gonna be like 24th. I think they're ranked way too highly right now, and I think Shaka Bantu is gonna win. That's my take.
Yeah, you think Shaka Bantu's gonna win?
I
Okay,
mean, I have so
who am
much
I?
faith in Shaka.
Who
Or
do I think
Grubbers,
win
Grubbers.
the
Okay, I'll take Grubbers. I'll take the Grubbers, bro. I'll take the Grubbers.
Rubbers?
I'll take the Grubbers. They're winning. 100.
Okay, that's exciting. I don't know if they will win.
The Grubbers are goated, bro.
Okay, who am I? I'm gonna call the SL winner right now, and if they actually win, then it's all scripted, and I
It's
decide
all
who wins.
scripted, man.
I'm gonna say Dangerous Game wins the SLE.
Oh, that's a take, baby. But he's gonna get second, man. It's Lurgs. He's leveling slowly.
Oh
Split
yeah, you're
7
right.
is
Oh my
with
god, I
Lurgs.
made such
You
a
messed
huge
up the
mistake.
split 7 script with the split 6, Linus. Gotta get it straight.
Yeah,
Lord
that's
Lurgs,
that's
I would be very
totally
happy if DG won, though. Lord Lurgs, the goat.
yeah. Man. But yeah, let's go over to the drawing that everyone wanted, I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay. Are there any
Um,
matchups, Linus, that you would like to see before we do the draw show? Because I remember.
Well,
last-
actually, I have to fix something real quick. No, I fucked up.
Oh, we're rigging it. Hold up.
Okay, I fucked something up. That's actually unfortunate.
No,
let me
it's gonna
just.
be Vitagen versus Vitagen, Wacky versus Black Flag.
Okay, we are basically back.
Diamond versus
the draw.
Shaka Bantu.
Okay.
Vitagen Diamond versus Shaka Bantu. Okay, we're gonna see.
All right. Let's go for the first match, and I will basically press this beautiful wheel.
Here we go. And we get okay, not this picks. Didn't go all the way.
We have a winner. What? Fuck! I don't
think
know
this
the logos
this is
yet.
one of the wolves. This is one of the wolves. It's not the
No.
one wolf. It's the other wolf. Crimson Dog.
That should be Dog. Yeah, the Dog.
Yeah,
team.
Dog Crimson Flame. Dog Crimson Flame.
Fuck! I don't know the. Oh yeah, thank you very much.
Dog Crimson
All
Flame.
right. So who would you like to see against them? Is there any team you want to see, or is this kind of whatever?
I want to see the Infernal Wolves because they both have like dogs or like wolves.
All right. Then let's see.
No way. Okay, it's skipped. Ooh, Serbi Glacial.
Serbi Glacial. All right, that's an interesting one.
Okay, now I can confirm it's not rigged because I said the matchup didn't happen. So it's not rigged. Chat can relax.
Yeah, I rigged it so it doesn't seem rigged. Yeah. But yeah, that's the first match basically. Let's go over to the next match. Snack Pack. Oh, I really hope I play Snack Pack.
Oh, you want to hope? Okay, so you want the Black Flag here.
Yeah. Let's see who Snack Pack faces.
Okay, if it's Black Flag, it's rigged. If it's Black Flag, it's rigged. Ain't no way. Okay,
yeah, it's not Black
Grubbers!
Flag.
Let's go! I love the Grubbers.
Grubbers against Snack Pack, so you have the worms against the snakes.
Let's go, Grubbers. Grubbers are gonna eat them, bro.
The
You see those
better of
jaws?
the
You see those
snakes.
jaws? You see
Yeah.
these jaws? They're about to eat them. I love the Grubbers.
That's
Let's go.
actually an interesting matchup. So yeah, let's continue with the draws show.
That's a pretty good matchup, actually.
Yeah, I think both matchups so far are interesting.
What's the
Okay.
peach fish?
Peach Fish Woof. Peach Fish Woof. The Swedish team. You know who I want to see against them? Primordials.
Jin?
Sweden against
Primordials?
Denmark.
Sweden against Denmark?
Denmark in round 1. That would.
Serbia would have worked too, but they're gone now.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
they
let's
are
see.
gone.
Primordials? Oh, not rigged. Oh, it's the Vitagen squad. The
Vitagen
diamond.
Diamond.
We're dodging the Civil War.
For now.
They can still be BP Civil War. No, wait. They can have Jin versus Dangerous Game.
Yeah.
Gucci Dangerous Game. Then you have also BP Civil War. Okay. Speaking of the rigged. No, wait.
No, it's
Solaris.
Solaris.
Okay, never mind. Close
Okay.
to rigged.
I'm just gonna say I played them last week in the CWL. I don't want to play them again yet. I really hope it's
Did
not
you
my
lose?
team.
Did you lose?
It was a draw actually, 1-1.
Okay. Fair. Well, BLE. My goats! Let's go! Okay, I
Black
got both my
Lotus
homies.
against Solaris Ares. Have they played last bit? Let me actually check if they played last bit. That's something that I'm interested in. You can talk about something while I'm checking.
Unfortunately, Randy, there will be no Dangerous Game drawing in. It is over.
No drawing game.
Because Dangerous Game got drawn now, so there will be no BP Civil War that Randy wants. Randy wants BP Civil War.
BP Civil War. Which two teams would that be?
Let's say there is Sandix from BP on Gucci Yin. There is Lurks on Dangerous Game for the support. And then there is also Jonathan Isaac on Vitagen Pearl. I don't remember the names. It's Pearl Diamond. One of the Vitagen squads, which also got drawn. So yeah, the BP Civil War is. And then there is Mitch D on, I think, Shakabantu, which could be the 4 Civil Wars.
I've actually looked back into it, and they played last split. Black Lotus against Solaris Ares was actually the game in round 1. So they opened their split against each other last time, and they will do it again now. I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, let's go over to the next team, which is
Oh, the Assassins.
Oh, it's the Assassins and Greed. They are completely. Yeah.
This team better greed for plates, man. This team better greed for plates.
Yeah, I hope so. But this team is completely undefeated in how do you say it?
Manta Cup and
in general, in every league or cup game they've played, they've never.
Okay, so they should get So we want Yin here to see like a hard.
We want Yin. We want the
We
Vecchi
want
West,
Yin.
maybe Eternal Blizzard. Some of those teams.
Faster.
And it's Silver
Okay,
Phoenix.
close.
Goddamn.
Close. That's pretty good though.
Silver. This is a challenge for Silver Phoenix. They can prove that this time they will actually compete. But yeah,
I want to see the.
Yeah.
It's either that or we want to see the Assassin's Creed show us why they're the goats.
Yeah.
Why they are undefeated.
Okay, I'm kind of getting scared. There are some teams that I would rather dodge in round 1, but I can also play Primordials, which would be cool.
It's okay, Linus. We know Black Flag will be drawn last. Oh, it's Didi is still here. All right, we dodged. It was Solaris. Wait, there is still the hope for. There is still BP Civil War on the line.
Slim odds. Let's see.
There is still a lot of BP Civil War.
Yeah, that would be
Shakabantu! Let's go, Shakabantu!
Being against Slim odds.
The Shakabantu is a goat team name.
All right. So which cool matches do we have here? We could have the battle of the cheese. Gucci Yin against Gucci Yang. We could have that one.
I want Yin versus DG. Yin versus DG.
We have Yin against DG, which would be really, really exciting. We have Yin against
versus
Vecchi.
That's good. Yin versus Vitagen also works.
Yeah, Vitagen against Vecchi Vrest basically would also be exciting.
I want to see the Dream team, but I want to see the Lynx team overall. I'm just curious. EP Black Flag.
EP Black Flag. Okay, we have Gucci Yin. Who's gonna be the first team challenge Ian.
Wacky or Vitagen? Wacky or DG? Or DG for Civil War. DG for Civil War. DG.
DG?
Come on. Spin faster. No! Faster! Okay,
it's
so let's
EV.
go.
It's EV against
We're
Yin.
rigged. We're always facing
It's
these.
EV against Yin.
Damn.
EB against what a banger
Genius
opening
squad.
match.
What a
What a
banger.
banger. I really hope we can have that streamed and casted. Like that's such a cool matchup.
I do know I have a fan in the Rain, so it'll probably be streamed somewhere.
Yeah.
He wants
Okay, we
to
have-
flame me.
We have
No.
Devillion,
The Villian.
which is
D&B.
DVN.
Yeah, D&B Infinity, right?
Yeah. Let's see who they face.
Let's see. Are they getting the spicy? From Wolves? Ragnarok? It's Ragnarok.
It's Ragnarok.
It's good.
Interesting
A
matchup.
good matchup.
Okay, it's starting to get less and less teams.
Okay. Who are you getting though? It's getting nervous out here. Black flag.
I'm
Black
getting
flag
nervous.
angle. Black flag. Oh, okay.
No,
it's
it's
Wacky.
Vekibres. It's Vekibres. Okay, who will Vekibres face in round 1?
It's mostly good teams left now, though. DG? Oh, it's Livestream.
It looks
Oh,
like
it's super
Livestream.
hard to see the red
Oh
border,
my
actually.
God. It's yeah, but that means Estonia has the chance to get back on Vekibres and basically be like, hey, look at us, we are the better ones now.
Oh, they're
Like,
the
this
new
is
ones.
so-
Damn.
Revelings, they can take revenge for their
Okay,
brothers and
buckle up in
sisters.
Estonia. Revenge.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
Okay. It's the Wolves?
It's
or
the
the
Wolves.
Crimson Wolves. Okay, let's see who they're facing. I feel like we have a very big mix here. Let's see. It's Black Flag or is it Yang?
I think it's probably
Yang.
Yang, right?
It looks like
Okay,
Yang.
it's
That's
Yang.
a good matchup. Okay, only 4
Alright.
teams left.
All right, so basically for me that means I get Vitagen or Dangerous Game as like a really tough one, or Primordials as a rematch because we played in the Pirate Bay Invitational against each other.
Ah, okay.
So let's see.
Let's hope it's not a rematch. Let's see. Black Flag. Here you go.
Oh, who
Feeling
who are our
nervous?
opponents?
What are you getting? I want
Maybe-
Dangerous Game.
Yeah, I basically get the team that I called for SLE champions. Let's go.
I want the Dangerous Game. I want Lurks, the GOAT. Oh, it's gonna be Primordials. It is a rematch
Oh, it's Primordials.
from the Pirate Bay.
Rematch. Primordials against Black Flag Sailors. So it's completely rigged again, of course. I always
Always
rig it.
rigged. Always
Yeah,
rigged.
I basically type in the matches beforehand, and I'm just trying to be like, yeah, how exciting
rigged.
this match! I didn't expect that now, but
But this matchup will also be good. Vitagen Diamond versus Dangerous Game.
it's Pearl, Vitagen Pearl. Actually,
Pearl?
what I completely forgot, and Mikas pointed it out, if I would have played against Vitagen Pearl, I would have played against my former team because I played
True.
on Vitagen. I
Yes.
lost 2 games on Vitagen last split.
Yes.
But yeah, that means we have Vitagen Pearl against Dangerous Game last. So yeah, okay. People want me to spin the wheel. Okay, let's
Spin
see
the wheel.
what the last game will be.
Let's see it. Spin the
I want
wheel.
the most hype to
Lurks!
have.
Lurks! Let's go!
Okay,
Fucking love Lurks.
and
Fucking love Lurks.
I want you to completely hype up their opponent because we don't know what it will be.
Nah, they're facing Lurks.
Oh.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. They're never winning against Lurks. And no matter who it is, they're never winning against Lurks.
Oh my God,
No,
it's Vitagen Pearl.
It's Vitagen Pearl. Can't
What?
believe it.
So we're fucking
And the top
Lurks.
matchup will be good, right? It's the Shy City versus Ant, no?
Oh, is it?
I think it is.
That's actually a banger matchup. I think those two might be the best top laners in the
Let's
league.
go. And then
Oh
they have
my God.
Lurks.
And just said we are playing with 3 subs though.
Oh, shit.
Man, and don't be boring.
Come on,
um, Come on, and what the fuck, and
I'm so scared of Lurks, bro. Ain't showing up at all.
come on, Dutch. You can do better than that. He's also being like, yeah, with 3 subs max. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's basically That's basically the matches.
Second round is not drawn now. It will be drawn on Saturday. Since it's a Switch format, we'll draw it on Saturday after the matches. I think at like 8 or after.
Yeah, right. It's basically Swiss. So it's not drawn in a way, like we are not spinning a wheel or anything. It will be decided by the website who will play against who. So
Are there any
yeah,
other format things we need to bring up or no?
I would like to explain how the scheduling will work because this might be something confusing for people.
Take it
Again,
away.
you have Saturday, which is the day where those games that we just did will be played on. And I want to basically explain the schedule, and then I want to notice something. Yes, Itchy, I'm meaning what you are basically saying. All right. So how will the scheduling work? Basically, we will create threads for you. There's a top. I really hope that we will get the roles done quickly. I think they are done. It looks done. Lina, are you in chat? Is Lina in chat?
I think she
Can you
was in
all
chat.
can everyone please DM Lina real quickly and ask her if the roles are done? Everyone, please. She will love that. She never gets DMs and she wants them. So
Oh god.
everyone
Oh,
who
good
wants can
lord.
just DM her. And if the roles are done, we have a channel that's called scheduling. And this channel, we will create a thread for every match. And in that channel, you can basically talk to your opponent and be like, "Hey, those times would work for us, or those times wouldn't work for us." And then you will try to find a solution. And as soon as you found the solution, you basically tag a mod or an admin or a trial mod, whatever, and that's the time where you will play it. Yeah, that's basically how it will work. Are there any more questions right now? Anything you want to know that we can explain on stream before I basically announce the last thing?
And you can just type in chat if there are any questions. Okay, Shikiorin has and also Power has a question.
Can you just
Can you stop
yapping?
yapping?
Okay,
Unfortunately not, as my team is aware.
I think I have to time out Chiki for a minute or 2 minutes. 2 minutes for that. Like, don't be rude to God of Hex. Like please. He's too
I am a
cute.
famous yapper.
Okay, Itchy calling abuse, so I will also time
Yes,
out
can you
him.
unban Shiki free?
Time out for 2 minutes.
Okay, that's stop.
Everyone free to no. All right.
Power, please. You can ask any question. It's fine if we already covered it. If you have a question, Power, you can bring it up here. It's completely fine. Can you
All right.
unban Shiki? We cannot unban Shiki, unfortunately.
And remove timeout on man. And is completely anti-fun.
Okay,
Fun
Logo
is
doesn't want to unban Shiki. Barak wants to know where Pocket Pig is and why is it in Akshan? But okay, let's take the question from Power. There is a fixed date, I think, on the day, so you have to play Saturday, I think.
Yeah, Saturday round 1,
Due to
Sunday
being-
round
yeah.
2.
But you can change the time you play during the Saturday. But you need to play on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday are fixed. Yeah.
All right.
This is only for. It's worth knowing though. It's only for the super weekends, which I think there are like 3 of. So next week, for example, when we're like in regular season, you can schedule the game any day of the week essentially. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, as long as you can agree with the other team on a day where like both teams are like able to play. And if you can't agree on a time, you will default to Sundays. On like
All
I think
right.
at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, basically.
Let me know
All
if that
right.
answers your question, Power. But yeah.
All right. You can see an announcement. You can see basically the screen of our the matchups basically for this week. I will do everything in tournaments. Let me check if the 4 teams that were missing have applied on the website, registered. Okay, all 4 teams are still missing. Fuck them. But yeah, there's one last announcement. We have basically had the in-house queue down for a while, I think, and we have it back up now. But we have a twist on it right now, so it's not completely open for everyone. but rather it's open for some veteran players and for the whole field of SLE teams right now. So if you've played in the SLE so far and you want to get to know a bit more in the community, there's the SLE in-house bot for that. If you go into the Discord, you have our welcome lounge where like announcements and everything is. Under that you have suggestions, and under that you have SLE in-houses. And anything you need in info, I think, is there. So check that out. If you are a veteran, that means you're not playing this split, but you have played in previous and you want to play in the queue, then you can basically, I think, DM Itchy about it, and he will add you to the whitelist for now. We will open it up later for everyone again, but for now, it's basically a place where you can hype yourself up a bit for the split, get to know the people a bit more. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, good old in-houses. In-houses are kind of neat.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that.
Maybe I should queue up now.
All right.
Ladder reset. I
Yeah,
think
we
it's
also
ladder
have a
reset.
ladder reset. I
I think
think
it's reset.
I think the first few days will, but I might be wrong. I mean, Itchy is in chat. If I'm wrong, then he can correct me. But I think that the ladder will be reset, that it already got reset, and we will have a few days where basically you have a free for all, like it will not count towards the ladder yet, and then the ladder will start. But I might be wrong on that. I'm not that into in-houses. But yeah, I
Save us
think
both.
that's everything for today.
And otherwise, if you have any questions, DM Linus at God of Hat. No, okay. Open a ticket or type in the general chat. And I think most people are really open to helping out. If you have any other questions or if you came late to the stream, or check SLE info.
Yeah.
In the Discord.
You're right. All right, then. Thank you everyone for watching this this draw show, this pre SLE stream. You can have there will be some content coming out in the next days, not just by the SLE, but also by some community members. So keep your eyes on that. Thank you very much for joining me, Hex. It was pretty short notice, but you still made time for it, so thank you very much for that.
As my team knows, I'm always happy to be happen.
And yeah, I want to thank everyone who is excited to make this split an even better one than last time. And I wish a great Tuesday evening to everyone. See ya.